Hi fans, and welcome to Fighting Saints Weekly. Jordan Coons with you as we bring you what was last week for the Saints. Two losses, of course, two regulation losses, in fact, in which the Saints were unable to gain ground on their Eastern Conference competitors by playing against the Western Conference. But opportunities coming knocking here this weekend, and we'll get to that later in the show. Of course, this is the first time the Fighting Saints have seen consecutive losses come their way in general since late October. So this is kind of uncharted territory here for this Saints squad, and they're going to have to find a way from within to battle back and get back into the win column coming up ahead against the Omaha Lancers and the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders this upcoming weekend right here at the Mesquite Community Ice Center. First, though, let's see what happened this past weekend as the Saints took on the Lincoln Stars and the Des Moines Buccaneers, and hear from some of the guys and what they feel like needs to come next for this team. So, who's next for the Dubuque Fighting Saints to face this upcoming weekend? First, it's the Omaha Lancers, and then it's the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders. So, we look at this weekend, you say two teams that are out of the playoff race. When you look at it, the Omaha Lancers, one of the worst defensive teams in the league, one of the worst offensive teams in the league. You see, wow, this is a great chance for the Saints to really do something offensively against an Omaha team that has definitely struggled, and they've been gutted by trades and acquisitions as they're gearing up for the future in Omaha. They're not in any sort of playoff position or chance to even move up in the standings right now. As for the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders, you see them enough, you've heard this enough, that this year has been a struggle for them. But as with the last time the Saints saw them, this time they're also riding an emotional win. They were against the Lincoln Stars last Saturday at the Stable, and went down 3-1 in the third period. They scored 3 unanswered goals to win the game 4-3 in regulation time, which stunned the Stars, who are now 2 points out of a playoff spot thanks to Cedar Rapids. A big reason for why CR has been good has been Bobby Hampton, who came over from the Chicago Steel earlier in the year. He's been very consistent for them offensively, though it looks like they'll be without Jordan Timmons here for the foreseeable future. He had been good, one of a bigger contributor as well as a bigger guy in the Cedar Rapids lineup. He will be out of it from the sounds of it. So curious to see how Cedar Rapids will respond to that, and also how the Saints respond to losing in overtime the last time they saw Cedar Rapids right here. So there's opportunity ahead for this team to get back in the winning ways that they're so used to. It just has to start with a weekend against the Omaha Lancers and the Cedar Rapids Rough Riders, two teams out of the playoff race, but that does not mean that this team should overlook them by one smidgen. This has been Fighting Saints Weekly, fans. Jordan Coons signing off. We'll talk to you when the Saints are back in the win column next week.